this one, you describe the main components of the electromagnetic spectrum. Yeah, this one, I think you will have a headache trying to remember. Yeah, this is the
gamma rays, then the X-rays, then the infrared, then visible light.
Yeah. So what they will test down here, let's not confuse you with this drawing, but it's quite nice to see. Okay, there's this thing you need to take note of, which is the visible light. You need to know which end is the purple light and which side is the red color light. Yeah, the wavelength, who has a larger wavelength, who has a shorter wavelength, who has a higher frequency, who has a lower frequency. For visible light, that one you need to know. Okay, so the wavelength, that two figures you need to know. So we try to put it in somewhere, then you can just download it and then use the information. Yeah, so they will not ask you for the exact numbers. Don't have to remember the wavelength, don't have to remember the frequency. You just need to know the order, which side has lower frequency, which side has higher frequency. Then the one with lower frequency has longer wavelength. I think, remember, this chart is enough. So low frequency is long wavelength. So you just remember the order in one direction. So you just remember radio, micro, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, then X-ray, gamma. So then you remember radio wave has low frequency, gamma has high frequency. So when it's low frequency, it has long wavelength. These few pieces, I think, enough already.
The lower the frequency, the longer the wavelength.
Yes, you just remember that relationship and then you just remember this order. Then I talk about the visible light, right? Visible light, there's a red end, there's a violet end.
Red and purple.
Yeah, so the red end is 700 nanometers, I think, right? 700 nano, right? And then down here is about 400. Then the inside, right? This is your rainbow. You know the colors inside the rainbow?
Red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet.
Yeah, so that's in between. But for visible spectrum, right, they don't really talk about the in-between colors. They only talk about, most of the time, they only talk about the red and violet. How I remember which side is closer to which order, right, is which way, right, is like this. The red color is next to the infrared. Then the violet
Then the
end,
violet
right?
is next to the ultraviolet.
Yeah, yes, I remember it that way.
Means the violet is closer to the violet.
The violet is close to the ultraviolet. Infrared is closer to the red color. Then the rest of the numbers you don't have to remember. I don't think it will turn up in the paper at all. They have to give it to you.
Yellow, green, blue, and indigo is not tested.
It is tested, but they won't ask you for the wavelength.
Mean they will ask you what color.
They will ask
It's
you,
after-
they will talk about in the order of the color. They will do that. But you already know, so no problem, right? I think the bigger problem, the thing that needs to remember, right, and you may have trouble remembering is this radio, micro, infra, blah 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 thing. But if you understand the relationship, then you can just remember part of it and remember the order will do. Then the rest will naturally come to you. Like the red
When
color.
I remember, I always forget one or two.
Now that you
Because
try
just
to
now when saying it, I forgot the ultraviolet.
Yeah. So it takes some time. So you have to look at it like once a week to slowly get it into you. Because I also cannot remember. After a while, if I don't use it, I will forget also. So it's natural that you will forget. So the way to like keep remembering it is to keep recalling it. Like you got nothing better to do, then you sit down there, then after that, then you can, wow, the TV commercial is taking place, you can take out and then look at it once. It doesn't take you a lot of time to recall. Just memorize once. Then after that, every time you take out and look at it, slowly it will go into your head. Don't try to cram it the day before test lah. Sure, confirm cannot remember. Anyone will not. The most of people cannot remember. So it's consistent work and then consistent recall. So you got free time, you take out, take 5 minutes.
Is it no one can one time look then can remember everything?
Cannot lah. That one must be very quick and has very, very good memory.
Because that is beyond human capability.
It's not say non-human capability. You can remember it one time by setting up some weird way of remembering. Like you can remember a set of letters. Some people remember the first letter, or like the color, the rainbow one. Some people create a sentence with the first letter of every color. And then that sentence, right, is very weird and very easy to remember. Then you will be able to remember at one go. Can be done. But if you want to do it like this, right, it will take you some time. You can come up with your own system to remember. Like the rainbow, we had I used to do this Richard of York. A vessel in vain. Last time we were taught this. So that means red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So we come up with a sentence.
The teacher teach Roy G with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Yeah. So everyone, right?
ROYGBIT.
Yeah. So the ultra the electromagnetic spectrum one looks like that. So you
Means
can
this is for the visible light.
the your right thing is for visible light. Then this one is for electromagnetic spectrum. But it's not very easy to remember to me. If it's easy for you to remember, you can remember it like that. So it's radio, micro, infrared, then visible light, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma. Or you can come up with any other sentences that help you remember. Okay? Yeah, you can take the idea and then come up with your own weird order. Because if it's this kind, right, where you want to create a sentence or a small word, right, to remember all these things, right, the sentence or the small word must be very memorable. Like it leaves a very deep impression in you. So if you create something like that, right, then confirm it's very easy to remember. Yeah. Okay. This one, question 3. This is very easy. It's a very obvious giveaway. Yeah. This one, which one has the shortest wavelength? Yeah. Which component of visible light has highest frequency? So you don't have to look at the green or yellow. It's only the blue end or the red end. The red is close to infrared. The blue is close to the
It's red and violet.
yeah lah. Because next to because next to the violet is blue. So if that means it's closer, you can remember it together with ultraviolet. So ultraviolet has higher frequency than infrared. Okay. So that's why here, right, the answer is B, because B is closer to ultraviolet. So ultraviolet has higher frequency. Okay, low frequency to high frequency. Yeah. This one, energy. Energy is related to frequency. So the ones, right, at the end, the one with the highest frequency.